I wanted to talk about the wines from the Wine Spectator's Top 100 that I am on the lookout for. Hey, welcome back to Drinking It In. I am your host, Chris Casara. We are here to help you know more and drink better. And let's talk Wine Spectator Top 100. I am no longer a subscriber of Wine Spectator, but every year I do look at their top 100 wines online, just see like what they think, like how they're organizing their list, and if there are some wines that are at reasonable price points that I should target. So this list was no different. There were plenty of options, at least that I, as I read through, seemed interesting to me, and ones that I'm going to seek out if possible. What happens a lot of times is that this list generates a lot of interest, and if the wines are on the shelves, they do get bought up. But again, something to keep a lookout, some wines to keep a lookout for, but also others in a similar category, right? So, for instance, if we're talking about a particular year and region, right, that showed up on this list a lot, then I want to target some wines from reliable producers in that region for that year, if I can't find the actual one that the Wine Spectator put on there. I don't really understand how they necessarily build out their criteria, and I really don't care, but often there are interesting wines on the list. So let's get into the ones that I am looking for. I'm going to go from the highest on the list, from 1 down to 100. Number 9 on the list was a 2021 Resonance Pinot Noir. This can be had for around $40. I've heard good things about the Resonance Pinot Noirs in general, so definitely going to have a look for that one. Second one is the 2022 Greywacke Sauvignon Blanc from New Zealand. This has always been a favorite of mine from a producer perspective. It's a little bit of a different style New Zealand Sauvignon Blanc. They do some different things in the fermentation and the aging, so it's not as sharp and bracing as some of the New Zealand Sauvignon Blancs that you're used to. It's a little more round, and I really, really like it. So, I'm always kind of looking, if I see that on the shelf, I tend to buy it in general, but we'll look at, we'll keep looking for the 2022. That's, $25 and under. Number 17 on the list was 2021 Margarum M5, which is a blend. You can have that for around $30. It sounded intriguing from the tasting notes, so I'm going to keep an eye out for that. I don't think it's extreme. Number 31 on the list is 2022 Diatom Chardonnay. I think this was from, it's Sonoma. I'll correct myself here if it's not. $23 always gets, I've read a lot of good things about, the wines from this producer. So we're going to try to, we're going to focus and try to find it. Number 47 on the list is 2021 Renato Ratti's Barbera de Battaglione. You can find this for around $25. Renato Ratti, a favorite producer of mine, and some of the Barolos that I've had from him. So to be honest, I didn't even know not that I didn't know they produced a Barbera de Asti, but I've never necessarily looked for it. So I'm going to keep an eye out for it. Number 64 is a 2021 Thorn and Daughters South Cape Pinot Noir, $21-ish, South Africa. Enough said. I love South African wines, Pinot Noir. From there, let's, for under $25, I'm in. Number 67, 2021 Vichy Verdicchio di Metallica, $24-ish. Italian whites, Verdicchio di Metallica, I love those. So not familiar with Vichy or Bisci, I think it's Vichy, from a producer perspective. So another one for me to educate myself on. Number 71 was a 2020 Sellback Oster Riesling Cabernet, $25-ish. Again, you notice I'm not looking at the $200 wines that are on this list. There's not for me to, they don't interest me. So, anything here that's typically doesn't go higher than $40. Is where I'm looking. So sorry, back to the 2020 Sellback Oster Riesling Cabernet. Sellback Oster, Riesling producer that I've had a fair amount of wines from, always reliable. I'm sure this one will be no different and very delicious. Rieslings, even though they show up on this list, tend to still be on the shelves because people just don't have that same level of interest. The next one that I'm looking at, number 78, Paolo Scavino's Barolo from 2019, great vintage. You're not gonna be able to find this. I saw some notes, or maybe it was a video. It might have been, I'm trying to think. I'll credit the video if it actually comes to me. But it sounds like they're already sold out based on the presence on this list. So I always like Paolo Scavino Barolos. I do tend to grab them if I find them because they are, especially their basic or their regular Barolo. They're always well priced. But this one looks like it's going to be a problem to find. And last but not least, there was a number 83 on the list. There was 2020 Morgante and Nero d'Avola from Sicily, $19, $20. Been drinking a lot of Sicilian wine in general. Etna Rosso, Etna Biancos, certainly Nero d'Avola, and there's one other that's escaping me right now. It'll come to me. I'll put it down here so you see it. But not familiar with Morgante as a producer, but as I drink more and more Nero d'Avolas, I want to narrow my focus and to real quality producers that I like. So right now I don't really have a list like that. I'm kind of grabbing and trying a lot of different ones. It'll serve as a basis for a video in the future, maybe a year from now. Like, hey, here are my top 10 Nero d'Avola producers for you to seek out. And hopefully like 9 of you watch that video because nobody's looking for Sicilian wine right now. But it's gonna be a big trend. It's gonna continue. 5 years from now, you'll be the one sitting with all kinds of Sicilian wine in your cellar and you'll be like, thanks, Chris. Thank you very much. I wanna thank you for watching. I'd love to hear your thoughts on the Wine Spectator Top 100 list. Do you care? Do you look at it in a similar way to mine, to how I do it? Or do you anxiously await for that issue to arrive in your mailbox? I'm interested. Let me know. Talk to you soon. Cheers.